Okay, so that is done. So now, last time, if you all recall, we completed the first chapter, right? And that first chapter, everything was about the person had to simply inquire and everything came because the person was already purified. And this was the same thing that was stated in so many different ways in this thing. I will kind of share my screen with you. So just as a recap, you can see for yourself what we had from last time. I can make it a little bigger so it will be a little easier. Okay, so all it said was Chaitanyam Atma. That means consciousness is the higher, is the core, the self. The Atma, they call it as the self. Atma we should call as the source from which everything comes. So you can call it self too. Then Jnanam Bandha, that is ordinary knowledge, basically external mind, external information is the bondage. Okay, and the Yoni Vargaha Kala Shariram. So the thing is basically the creative womb delivers the structures of creation. Jnana Adhishthanam Matrika. The basis of cosmic structure is the Divine Mother. So now that we have understood all of this, what we are saying is that the person is already in the state of Chaitanyam Atma. The person has already become integrated. That's the nature of Shambhopaya. And as a result of it, the experience that comes over here, the external information is the bondage. The creative womb delivers structures of creation. Then Jnana Adhishthanam Matrika, that is the base of the cosmic structure, is the Divine Mother. And Udyamo Bhairavaha, the upsurge is Bhairava. We explained over here that in Kashmir Shaivism, Bhairava is the highest, the Ishvara. And Shakti Chakra Sandhane Vishwasamharaha, that is in integration with the energy centers, the universe collapses. In other words, you are in that, when everything gets integrated, there is no universe after that, because the universe is only a creation out of the structures. And Jagat Swapna Sushupta Bhede Turiya Bhoga Sambhavaha. When the states of being awake, in dream and deep sleep are pierced, it is possible to experience the Turiya state of higher awareness. Jnanam Jagrata, that is sensory knowledge, is obtained in the waking state. And Swapno Vikalpaha, dreaming is free ranging of thoughts. Vikalpa means actually delusion is the right word. Dreaming is free ranging of thoughts. We can put in over there delusion. Okay. Aviveko Maya Saushuptam. In deep sleep, Sushuptam means, Saushuptam means in the state of deep sleep. Maya, that is Aviveko Maya, in deep sleep state of Maya comes discriminative knowledge. So this is the idea that when we are in deep sleep, we wake up in the morning and we get, intuitively we understand things that they come from nowhere. It is really the intuitive connection. So again, here this entire first chapter is all about the starting point is Chit Chaitanyam Atma, right? So that's where it begins from. So that, in other words, the person is fully aware, and these are only the details of that awareness, how the person experiences the control of the energy. Tritaya Bhokta Vireshaha, the control of the energy flow is the experience of the three states. and the yogic connectivity happens as a surprise when it comes. So when it happens, it comes Vismayo Yoga Bhumikaha, and then by the energy of one's wishes, one can access Prakriti, Uma Kumari, as they put in over here. So we saw all of this, and I'm going to skip most of it so that we know the direction. So Lokanandaha Samadhi Sukham, the bliss of the sight is the joy of Samadhi. That is when we are able to experience the higher awareness and experience that. And this is straight in the Yoga Sutras also, right? So it ends over here. The last three, Bhuta Sandhanam, Bhuta Pruthaktva, elements unite, elements separate, and the universe is gathered. So how the universe is created is the way in which it speaks and how it also gets withdrawn. Shuddha Vidya, Udaya, Udayat, Chakra, Ishatva, Siddhi. So the pure knowledge leads to mastery of the wheel, whatever. Let's split this. Shuddha Vidya, Udayat, by the emergence of the pure knowledge or the pure, higher knowledge, Chakra Ishatva Siddhi. You become the controller of the chakras. That Siddhi is it comes in. So let's write that down. The Siddhi of control over the chakras. And chakras are chakras which connote the manifest nature of a being. Right? The underlying forces that makes a person. The Siddhi of control over the chakras arises, Udayo, from pure knowledge. That is the knowledge of the higher knowledge, right? The next one is Maha Hridanu, Maha Hrit Anusandhana, Anusandhanat Mantra Virya Anubhava. Oh, Mantra Virya Anubhava. Okay. Mantra Virya Anubhava. Okay. So Mahahrit Anusandhanat. Mahahrit means, Maha is the great. Hrit means whatever is the one that is hidden core. So the great hidden core, Anusandhanat, means when you experience that, then Mantra Virya Anubhava. Then in which case you understand the power of mantra. So that is what is this thing. So here he calls it the Great Lake. That doesn't mean anything. By experiencing the great hidden core, one actually it again is Anubhava is also experiencing, but the Anusandhanat, we should say. Anusandhana means to imbibe. By imbibing or by imbibing the great hidden core, one experiences the power of mantra. Okay? Mantra Virya Anubhava. That is the energy of mantra. Virya means power, energy. What vibrance? Power, energy, vibrance. Which word do you like? for Virya? Power, energy, vibrance of mantra. Which one do you like? Which word?
Power of mantra is better.
Okay, power of mantra.
Yeah.
I'll leave it there. Okay, then after this comes the next one. Today, when I looked at the second this thing, I decided the translation that these people have done is so bad that I will keep that in the separate one. And in any case, this English write-up of this thing is not very helpful, right? So I put in over here, Chittam mantra. Now he writes there, the mind is mantra, you know. Chitta, we all understand over here, is the processor of our programs, right? And that makes who we are. So in many ways, the mind is also part of the processing, but the distinction between the mind and the chitta is the mind also includes the outcome of your reaction, whereas the chitta is the pure processor, right? So when the processor, chittam mantra, the processor itself is encoded with its processing program. So the chitta itself is in the nature of vibration. So we can say chitta is in the nature of vibration. Prayatnaha sadhakaha. Actually, both of them are, as you can see over here, in the subject. So the prayatnaha sadhaka means effort. Actually, the practitioners
Practices leads to...
No.
No.
Prayatnaha, this is the practitioner's effect.
Effort.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. The practitioner's effort. So chittam mantra, chitta is the nature of vibration, the practitioner's effort. So the thing is basically, the two elements are brought in over here. The chitta is always active. So chitta is the nature of vibration, and the chitta is always active. Why? It is always active because the practitioner is open and the practitioner's effect comes in there. But it is also, this is where it goes to the point of where the equal and opposite vibration can still the chitta, and that's how you're able to, the concept of the mantra-based meditation. So that comes in the next sutra over here. Vidya Sharira Satta Mantra Rahasyam. Actually, that word Vidya Sharira Satta is one word. Sharira Satta means the essence of the body. And Vidya Sharira Satta means the knowledge of the essence of the body is the secret of mantra. This is a crazy, this thing. Okay, this definition, the secret of mantra is the being of the body of knowledge, makes no sense. Okay, so the knowledge of the essence of the body is the secret of mantra. Everybody understands that? Because the body is formed by the mantra. Body is vibrating all the time. That's why our hair goes gray. That is why you get pimples. That is why the food digests. That's why you breathe. That's why the hair grows, right? So the thing is, the knowledge of the essence of the body is the secret of mantra. Understanding that vibration is what makes it. Garbhe chitta vikas.
I have a question, Rajanji.
Yes.
Body is made out of 5 elements. So I do not understand the essence of body.
Okay. The body can be made out of 5 elements. But what do the 5 elements contain? All the 5 elements contain atoms, or I wouldn't even, smallest particle. Actually, when we talk about space, there is actually ether is the smallest particle of the space. But let's leave the space out of it. Every other thing, whether it is, earth, whether it is water, or whether it is fire, or it is air, they are all composed of atoms, molecules.
Yeah, right.
Right?
So why
So
do we
atoms
call...
and molecules, by their nature, are vibrating entities, and the idea of the E is equal to mc square, that the mass and energy equivalence, is all about how chemical reactions take place is by exchange or sharing of electrons, is how the entire molecules are created. That is how the body functions, by ionic exchanges. When energy is produced in the body in each cell, it is ionic exchange that is happening. So the fact that your skin sweats, the fact that the cells in your face die, or whatever happens to you inside and outside your mind, everything is vibration.
So we can call it a sense of body?
What is that?
Can we call these elements and these atoms the essence of the body? Can we call them as the essence?
See, the thing is, basically, if you go to the next chapter of Anvopaya, there you can call it as the essence of the body, all these elements. But on the other hand, the elements are at a lower level than the vibrations that make the elements. And here it is about Shaktopaya. So here we are looking at the subtler element that makes everything. Shobha, go ahead.
I just wanted to share something from Srimad Bhagavatam. So all these 5 elements are also associated with the tanmatras like Shabda, Sparsha, Rasa, Rupa, Gandha. So I mean, maybe if you are okay with it, I will read each of the 5 elements: the air, water, fire, earth, and space. They are associated with one or more of the 5 tanmatras: Shabda, sound; Sparsha, touch; Rupa, form; Rasa, taste; and Gandha, smell. So Akasha is Shabda, air is Shabda and Sparsha, fire Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, water Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, and earth is Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, and Gandha. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So I thought maybe this could be helpful in our understanding.
Did it help others to understand? It didn't help me. Okay, the thing is, basically what is happening is we are going directly to vibration as the essence of everything.
Exactly.
And so here
the
point is being made is vibration is the essence of everything. Right?
Yeah, even the other thing is, even the 5 elements, their attributes are very
all vibration related. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So next is Garbhe Chitta Vikasaha Avishishta Vidya Swapnaha. Okay. So here it is really basically talking that when creation takes place because the person does not have that higher awareness, right? So what it is Garbha is the womb, and within the womb, when a life form is created, the chitta, remember, is beyond in the higher domain. The chitta or the processor, vikasa, means the chitta is communicating more programs into the womb, right? So the vikasa is the expansion. Chitta vikasa, avishishta vidya swapnaha. So the idea of avishishta means that is shishta means proper, and vishishta means it is something that is in a special proper way. Avishishta means in a sense it is not specific, it is kind of a little loose. So the idea that the within the womb the knowledge that forms is a little loose, like in dream. What he has put is the emergence of the mind in the womb is the forgetting of common knowledge. There is no word called forgetting anywhere here. Okay? If you look at the word garbhe chitta vikasaha avishishta vidya swapnaha, there is nothing called forgetting over there. Okay? So the thing is basically, it is simply that the nature of the expansion of the chitta's program in the womb is non-specific and like a dream. So we can put in here vidya swapnaha, that is the knowledge, the expansion of the chitta in the womb creates knowledge that is non-specific.
Rajanji, to me, it is coming across as if he's saying that in the womb, as chitta starts forming, it acquires non-specific knowledge or common knowledge.
The thing is, so when we say avishishta vidya swapnaha, you are treating as non-specific. It creates knowledge that is non-specific, like in a womb. When we say non-specific, you want to use the word common or non-specific?
They're using the word, avishishta. And all that means to me is that for any human entity, there's a common set of knowledge that has to come in. And that is what one gets in the womb. And then it is specialized later or some such.
Okay. The thing is basically, vidya swapnaha, how do you understand the word?
Appears in the form of coming in as if it was through the dream. But see, part of the thing that comes up in here is that they're writing at a time when the words were used in a particular way and they're trying to explain concepts which are more difficult. So they're using set of words to explain or express certain ideas which are more subtle than the words can express. So this is their way of pointing to that. And simply to me, it means that when somebody is in the womb, the chitta that's formed as it is formed starts acquiring the common knowledge.
Okay. So we can say common knowledge.
But this is common among all.
In the womb.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the common knowledge for which you give an exam on common.
Comes with the expansion of the chitta. So the thing is, what I have written before is exactly the same. Instead of using the word common knowledge, I have put non-specific. That's the same thing.
Non-specific common is okay.
Same thing. Okay.
See, the whole issue is non-specific means non-specific to whom. Common means common to whom.
Yeah, means common to everybody kind of thing.
Yeah, say, and non-specific means not specific to this particular person. So, same thing.
Yeah. Common knowledge to all in creation. Okay. So Vidya Samuthane, Vidya Samuthane. Utthana means to arise. Vidya Samuthane in its entirety arising. Swabhavike Khechari Shiva Avastha. Actually, this is a very interesting concept. What is happening is, it is going to, we should look at this and the next sutra together. Guru Upayaha, actually we begin that the mantra rahasyam, mantra is what is able to take you over there. So Vidya Samuthane, the Vidya, the knowledge in its totality, when it arises, Swabhavike Khechari Shiva Avastha. Swabhavike means in its nature, the Khechari means that which is able to go into space. Kham means Akasha or space. Khechari means moving in space. The Khechara means to move in space. Khechari is being in, being the element moving in space. Shiva Avastha. Shiva means the concept of that tranquility, the Shiva state, Avastha, and we have to understand this also from a Kashmir Shaivism perspective. In the Shiva Avastha is the state of Shambhopaya, where one is able to imbibe many things. So let's see what he has written. When the knowledge of oneself arises, one moves in the sky of consciousness, the Shiva state. Well, it's close enough, but yet the Samuthane means in its entirety. So Vidya Samuthane, Swabhavike Khechari Shivavastha. Okay. The next one is Guru Upaya. So for a person who is in the Shaktopaya, I remember the second chapter was all about Shaktopaya. A person who is in the state of Shaktopaya, that means this person needs to use mantra, and mantra is the way in which the person is going to get out of. And it is because the entire vibration, the body, the everything is in the nature of vibration. So to do that, to use vibration to get out, how do you, the place is the Guru Upaya, you need a guru who can give you the mantra. That is what is the idea over here. Right? Any questions? Okay.
We are using word mantra in several different contexts here. On one side, mantra is simply vibration. On other side, when Guru Upaya means a guru is giving you a particular mantra, that's a particular pronunciation or enunciation that we are talking.
It is just a vibration. You see,
yeah.
The whole concept comes from mantra rahasyam.
Right.
That this entire body, entire creation is simply vibration, mantra.
Right.
And so here, in order to transcend, you need the right mantra. And the Vidya Samuthane Swabhavika Khechari Shiva Avastha is, this is the process of transcendence. The transcendence happens through Guru Upayaha. The solution is through the Guru. And there are some more interesting things here. Matrika Chakra Sambodha. You see, this is very interesting. I wonder, here he calls it as awakening of the wheel of Matrika, the elemental energies. The key part is Matrika Chakra Sambodha. Sambodha means to become aware, to become knowledgeable. The awakening of the awareness within you, Sambodha, of what? Matrika Chakra. Matrika refers to the that which is in the zone of the Divine Mother, that is Prakriti, in the source of creation. So in the source of creation, when we say Matrika Chakra Sambodha, I cannot precisely say what exactly it is meaning over here. It is something, it could be related to the chakras within us, the 7 chakras, the Sushumna Nadhi over there. When we are connecting into the Shiva Avastha, that is in transcendence, then we are able to realize why it is who we are and the nature of how Prakriti's chakras are working in us. I'm guessing that is how I would read it over here. Any other thoughts, Ashokji?
To me, these Shiva Sutras are supposed to be self-contained, correct?
Yeah.
Then in that, they have not talked about chakras. So what are chakras?
No. We can't, in that sense, no. The thing is, basically, we have to understand the Shiva Sutra as part of the Kashmir Shaivism doctrine. And in Kashmir Shaivism doctrine, they are, as part of their philosophy and worship and all of that, chakras are inherent in it.
Okay, so that's sort of the prerequisite that
Yes.
you understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, then in that context, it can make sense.
Okay. So next is Shariram Havihi. This is very interesting. Havas means the offering in a yajna. So Shariram Havihi. And this is extremely interesting because what happens is the equal and opposite vibration. What does it do? It collapses the vibration of the body, and that is how transcendence is able to, you're able to experience the transcendence. And in the transcendence, there is no more body. You don't feel the body. Jnanam Annam. So Jnanam Annam is interesting. This again, of course, the literal translation is food is knowledge. But what does food is knowledge mean? Let's read the next one also together.
It should be knowledge is food, or knowledge is what you want. Satisfies your eagerness to know, right?
No. Hold a moment. You see, what happens is, generally, you cannot experience knowledge without the body and the, what we say in yoga as asmita. Asmita exists with the body. If asmita is not there, you cannot experience even higher consciousness or the Shiva Avastha or anything like that, the knowledge that comes from there.
So basically, once the body is dissolved, no more knowledge comes. And
if the body is not there, then in which case you don't have a instrument to experience the knowledge.
okay.
And actually, this is the reason you will find in various philosophical elements in the Indian tradition, they will say to have human birth is a big thing. Even devatas cannot get that because devatas don't have access to the access of chetana that takes one to the highest kind of thing. You can reprogram yourself. Devatas cannot reprogram themselves.
Yeah.
I think it makes a lot more sense after you read the third one.
Yes.
Vidya Samhare
Yes.
Swapnam Darshanam.
Yes. Vidya Samhare.
What I'm talking about is that you have to get out of the way the body, the knowledge, and once body and knowledge are out of the way, then and only then can you go to the state of emptiness and through that to higher levels. That's how it is coming across to me.
Actually, this is very interesting. The way in which he has interpreted it is with Vidya Samhare, meaning extinction of knowledge or killing of knowledge. Tat Uttha, out of that emerges Swapna Darshanam, the vision of Swapna or dream kind of state, emptiness or whatever, is what he is calling over here. The way in which he has interpreted, I will not interpret it the same way. My interpretation will be different. The idea is that when the Vidya, the cosmic Vidya, that is the Matrika Chakra Sambodha, and you're talking of the higher, Vidya that is coming from
Deep sleep.
Vidya Sharira Sata Mantra Rahasyam Prayatna Sadhaka Chitram Mantra. Okay. I think what it is the idea of the higher Vidya that will arise from the from the Kechari, the Shiva Avastha. Vidya Samuthane Swabhavika Kechari Shiva Avastha. So when the Vidya is complete, Samuthane in its complete, Vidya Samuthane in its completely arising, you realize the Shiva Avastha. Now Vidya Samhare Tad Uttha Swapna Darshanam. When Vidya is killed, what your experience is simply delusion, or what I'll call as dream. That is how I will experience this. So Jnanam Annam, so the conscious knowledge you have is at the physical level. And when that knowledge is destroyed, then in which case you are in a world of delusion or dream. That is how I would understand these two sutras over here.
It doesn't make much sense to me. Because if through all of that you lead to a total delusion, and he talks about that there are 3 methods of achieving higher level, and this is the second method, and in that at the end he says that it leads to delusion. How does that work?
But actually, no. We have to understand it the same way in the Yoga Sutras. In Sutra number 17 of the first chapter, Patanjali Muni talks about the state of Sampragyataha state, where you have supreme wisdom of everything.
Right.
Then he goes on to Sutra number 18, 19, and 20 to explain, don't get confused that you can have other higher states that are not the supreme knowledge states. When you have fixation of ideas, your idea limits you where you are. So what it is he is referring to having reached the highest, and then he says, don't get confused. So what it is, so here he is talking about in the higher meditative state, you are able to attain the Shiva Avastha with the mantra from the Guru, and it gives you understanding of the nature of the chakras and the existence of the source, the Divine Mother. And in this process of connectivity, the body becomes the offering. By the equal and opposite vibration, the body's effect disappears, the awareness, when you get that connection. However, for whatever knowledge comes to you, it can only come because the body is there. If the body is not there, then you are in a state where you cannot, receive knowledge, because of the asmita will be gone. And from a yoga perspective. And when that knowledge, for whatever reason, is closed off or goes away, then in which case, whatever you are working with over there is in a dreamlike state, that what you're thinking of is not real. And actually, this is where lot of people who have lot of desires within themselves, they intuitively think they're experiencing this or that. In fact, all they're experiencing is their own delusions, and they are not really experiencing true higher state. People say I intuitively felt this and things like that. In fact, their intuition is their own delusion. That's how I would understand this. Okay, so next Wednesday, we will complete the third one. And after that, we will close out this session, and we can stop this weekly meeting after we finish the whole Shiva Sutra. Is that okay with everyone?
Fine.
Okay.
Can we talk a little bit, maybe 1-2 minutes, Ananji? As it says that when the body goes, then it goes into a state where you are not actually acquiring knowledge, or in other words, you are not doing anything with your karma kleshas, because it remains there. Everything happens when we are live with the body, because that is the instrument to gain knowledge, as well as this is the time where it also gathers karma or experiences or illusion. Everything happens here, right?
Now, let me hold you 1 second. We will ask the computer science professor over here. See, what happens is, without a processor, in other words, without a computer, these days they look in terms of how you can make computer chips out of water or this or that and things like that, how you can create a processor through that, right? Now, when anything is in a state of information alone and there is no processor, you cannot change information, right?
Yeah.
Ashokji.
Yeah, of course. See, the kind of thing that is coming in here, if you start taking a look at the way these sutras are written and they're described, Khechri, the term that was used, could also be interpreted that gives you access to the higher level, because it's talking about being able to get into that. So with the gurus giving you a mantra or a mechanism, you can access the higher level. But do you acquire all of it? You probably cannot. So when in all of these we are talking about you, who is that? Because we have already identified that there is Sharir, there is a collection of knowledge, there is Chitta. Which one is you? So when we say that you cannot acquire knowledge, what part of you is not acquiring knowledge? So some of these kinds of deeper questions we have to resolve. And that depends a lot at what level of abstraction one is looking at as an entity. So if you're looking at the level where it's next to Ishvara at the Prakriti and Purusha level, there is a different kind of entity. When you take a look at the mind level, there is a different structure that's there in addition to whatever structure we had at the higher level. When you come down to the actual physical body level, then additional things are added. And in each case, when we say we, who is that? If we are the experiencer, is that the Chetna, which is also present at the Prakriti level? Or is there something else? When we use the term Atma, what does that mean? Now, in different readings that I've done, the term Atma or who you are is used in so many different ways. And I think one of the challenges that we have is to clarify our own thinking on how these different things fit together, taking into account, and I, by the way, keep coming back to the notion that whenever you are expressing any higher level ideas in any natural language, Sanskrit being one of the most complete ones, but this applies to any natural language. Natural languages are used primarily to establish connection between human beings. Now you're trying to, and that's for shared experiences. So when you are talking about the things that are not shared experiences, then you end up using words which other person can interpret in some sense, but they may not contain the exact meaning what you're trying to convey, unless that person has experienced themselves that kind of experience that you're trying to convey. So that's where I think that many of the words that they're using in describing these processes, we have to look at in the current context. And one example that comes to my mind, as Rajanji rightly pointed out, that we talk about the Akasha or the space, and there's space, and then out come with that the vibrations. And that's basic fundamental nature of what in physics they talk about ether. So ether is, as it comes out, defines the space, and its vibrations define the time. So time and space, in my understanding at the moment, was created at the time or when that ether was ejected out of the unmanifest state of the divine being. And as it came out and started expressing itself, all other structures were formed by ether coming into stable kind of configurations. And that's how, when this particles of ether, whatever is the lowest building block, comes into some stable structural organization, certain kinds of properties they start manifesting. And at that time, they use the terms, these 5 elements. Are they earth, water, air at that level? Probably not. Can they be that they didn't know about electricity and magnetism and some of them are relating to that? Can it be that at that time they did not talk about gravitation? So earth is trying to imply that? I don't know. But we have to start taking a look at the knowledge that came, divine knowledge, acquired knowledge, whichever way, that came, was expressed in the form and format using the words that people at that time understood. And now that we have a different knowledge of at least the physical side of the world, whatever explanations come in have to reconcile with the knowledge that we have from the physics, from the world, from the biology, from other aspects. So that's what at least my pursuit in all of this is. Okay.
So the thing is, Ashokji gave us a larger perspective on everything over here. But Ashim, the question you asked is very simple. Unless a processor needs what you would call as elemental things through which you can have a processor built. So that is why the idea is that if you don't have a body, then you cannot reprogram, you cannot get knowledge, you cannot experience the higher knowledge.
No, that's right, yeah. And then when the body is gone, it gets stuck with whatever information it has.
That's
it
right.
will remain in limbo in that until it is finds another body.
And that is the reason if a body is in limbo over there and will not come back, that is why people do death services to relieve that. So a human body from here can, through its intention, modify that.
Yeah. I had a related question, maybe not today. I mean, when people have a lot of desires and when they leave the body suddenly due to accident or some other thing, unwanted or untimely, they come back to next life very quickly. And right? I mean, if it is not, if they are old age, most of the karmas, kleshas are kind of done. They come back, but after long time.
I don't know either of those statements. Whether they come back very quickly or after a long time, I have no idea.
Because the vasanas will bring them back, that desires and...
No. We are making an assumption.
Oh, okay.
And but the thing is, basically, what happens is we can only go by what the Yoga Sutra says in this matter.
Mm-hmm.
The Yoga Sutra says, according to the needs of the cosmic flow, in the time and place, this particular bundle of program, this person who is in the departed state that the person is in, when that is needed, it will manifest in the physical world according to the needs of the cosmic flow. That's all there is to it.
Oh, as for the need of the cosmic flow, okay.
And the need of that entity, human entity or whatever.
Actually, when I talk of the human entity is a bundle of programs.
Yeah.
Whereas on the other hand, the cosmic flow is the cosmic dynamics of the whole cosmic program. So according to the needs of the cosmic flow of the program, when it needs this program that is hanging there, it will pull it down into the physical world. Till then, it will hang there. Okay, so shall we close for today?
Yeah.
Namaste, everyone. See you all next week.